Dannon paid $21 million after the Federal Trade Commission found that 8 of 10 scientific studies showed no statistically significant benefit from its yogurt marketed as clinically proven to regulate your digestive system. That was not the only health claim in this aisle that the data could not back up. Brand 6 to skip, Yoplait Original. Yoplait is the most widely purchased yogurt brand in the United States by volume, which makes its ingredient list worth reading closely rather than assuming. Yoplait Original uses modified cornstarch as its primary thickening agent, which the company confirmed directly in its own FAQ page, stating that cornstarch gives their yogurt its smooth and creamy texture. Modified cornstarch is a processing additive with no nutritional function in yogurt. Its presence on the ingredient list tells you that the texture of the product comes from industrial thickening rather than from careful fermentation or genuine dairy density. The flavored varieties also include gelatin, carrageenan, natural and artificial flavors, and potassium sorbate. Carrageenan has been removed from the USDA's National Organic Program, allowed list for organic foods, because of concerns raised in peer-reviewed research about its effects on gut inflammation, though it remains permitted in conventional yogurt. The Cornucopia Institute's 2-year investigation, published as Culture Wars, How the Food Giants Turned Yogurt into Junk Food, named Yoplait among the brands that capitalized on yogurt's health reputation while adulterating the product with ingredients that work against the nutritional case for fermented dairy. Brand 5 to skip, Yoplait Greek flavored varieties. The term Greek yogurt has no federal legal definition in the United States. The FDA has not established a standard of identity for Greek yogurt the way it has for regular yogurt, which means any company can print Greek on its packaging without meeting any specific production requirement. Traditional Greek yogurt is made by straining regular yogurt through cloth to remove liquid whey, which concentrates the protein, reduces the sugar content, and produces a thick, creamy texture through a genuine physical process that changes the nutritional composition of the final product. In 2012, a class action lawsuit was filed in federal court against General Mills, alleging that Yoplait Greek was not real Greek yogurt. According to the complaint, Yoplait's Greek product achieves its thick texture not through straining, but by adding milk protein concentrate, gelatin, pectin, and locust bean gum to regular yogurt. The plaintiffs allege they paid a premium specifically because the Greek label implied a product equivalent to properly strained Greek yogurt, and that the additive thickened product did not deliver the same nutritional profile. General Mills did not comment on pending litigation at the time. The case highlighted a gap in federal labeling standards that remains unaddressed today. Brand 4 to skip, Dannon Activia. Activia is the most legally documented brand on this entire list. In December 2010, the Federal Trade Commission announced a settlement with the Dannon Company over the health claims made for Activia yogurt and the Dan Active dairy drink. The FTC's own complaint stated that 8 of 10 scientific studies examining Activia's effect on intestinal transit time showed no statistically significant benefit compared to placebo. Despite that scientific record, Dannon had run nationwide advertising campaigns, including television, print, and packaging language, claiming Activia was clinically proven to help regulate your digestive system in 2 weeks. Dannon paid $21 million to 39 state attorneys general and agreed to stop claiming that 1 daily serving of Activia relieves irregularity, without disclosing that 3 servings per day were required in the studies that showed any effect. The FTC specifically found the clinically proven claim was false. A separate class action settlement brought Dannon's total payout for Activia and Dan Active to $45 million, one of the largest food health claim enforcement actions against a dairy company on record. Brand 3 to skip, Dannon Danimals. Danimals is Dannon's yogurt line marketed specifically to children, packaged with animated characters and positioned as a kid-friendly health food. The Cornucopia Institute's Culture Wars investigation flagged Danimals as a clear example of yogurt's healthy reputation being used to sell a product that works against the nutritional case the advertising makes. Danimals varieties contain artificial colors including red 40 and blue 1, artificial flavors, and enough added sugar per serving to place the product firmly in the treat category, despite the live culture claims on the packaging. The FDA requires artificial colors to be listed by name, which means you can verify this directly from any Danimals label. Marketing a color-dyed, high-sugar, artificially flavored product to children using the language of live culture health food is the pattern the cornucopia report characterized as using yogurt's well-deserved reputation to sell something far removed from it. Brand 2 to skip, Yoplait Go-Gurt. Go-Gurt is Yoplait's squeezable tube yogurt positioned entirely at children, and it carries the same cornstarch thickening base that Yoplait confirmed in its own FAQ across the broader original line. The product is marketed heavily around the idea that children are getting a healthful dairy snack with live cultures and calcium, which is technically true in the most minimal sense. What the front panel does not lead with is that the product is thickened with cornstarch, sweetened with sugar at levels that place it in the same caloric range as other tube format snack products, and flavored with artificial flavoring rather than actual fruit. The live cultures present in Go-Gurt are real, and the product meets the FDA's minimum standard for yogurt. But the overall ingredient architecture, a cornstarch base with sugar, artificial flavor, and stabilizers, is meaningfully different from the simple fermented dairy product that yogurt's gut health reputation is actually built on. Brand 1 to skip, Dannon Light and Fit. Dannon. Light and Fit positions itself as the yogurt for health-conscious consumers who want the benefits of live culture dairy without the calorie and sugar load of standard yogurt. The mechanism it uses to deliver lower sugar is sucralose, an artificial sweetener sold commercially as Splenda. While sucralose is FDA approved and widely used across the food industry, marketing a product specifically for its gut health and digestive positioning while using an artificial sweetener that several research groups have raised concerns about, creates a specific tension worth understanding. A 2022 study in Cell by researchers at the Weizmann Institute found that sucralose 6-acetate, a compound formed when sucralose is metabolized, showed genotoxic properties in laboratory testing. Multiple peer-reviewed studies have also examined whether artificial sweeteners affect gut microbiota composition. The research is not settled. What is clear is that buying yogurt specifically for its probiotic and digestive health positioning, while the sweetener in that product is under active scientific scrutiny around those same gut properties, is a reasonable thing to know before it goes in your cart. Brand worth buying, Phage Total Plain. Phage has been making genuine strained Greek yogurt since 1926, and its ingredient list for the Total Plain varieties reflects that heritage directly. Milk, cream in the higher fat versions, and live active cultures. Nothing else. No gums, no stabilizers, no modified starch, no thickeners. The thick texture comes entirely from genuine straining, rather than from additives designed to mimic what straining produces. Consumer Lab, an independent third-party laboratory that tests commercial food and supplement products, confirmed in published testing that Phage Total contains high viable culture counts at the point of purchase. That verified culture count, combined with a genuinely clean 2-ingredient label, makes Phage the most consistently documented quality option in the entire yogurt category. The practical consequence of Phage's clean ingredient approach is visible in how the product behaves. Because the thickness comes from straining rather than from cornstarch or gelatin, Phage Plain does not separate or weep the way additive thickened yogurts can when you open a container that has been sitting for a few days. The ingredient list explains the behavior in the cup, and the behavior in the cup confirms that the ingredient list is telling the truth about how the product is made. Brand worth buying, Siggy's Plain Skyer. Siggy's produces Icelandic-style Skyer, which is a traditionally strained fermented dairy product that predates modern Greek yogurt by centuries. A single-serve container of Siggy's Plain contains 15 to 17 grams of protein and only 4 grams of naturally occurring milk sugar with 0 added sugar. The protein-to-sugar ratio is dramatically better than most commercial yogurt, including many products marketed as high-protein or health-focused options. Siggy's uses multiple live active cultures and achieves its texture through genuine straining rather than thickeners or stabilizers. For shoppers who are choosing yogurt specifically for the probiotic and protein case rather than for the marketing, Siggy's Plain delivers a better verified ratio of both than any of the brands on the skip list. Brand worth buying, Stonyfield Farm Organic Plain. Stonyfield Farm is USDA certified organic, and its plain yogurt uses organic whole milk and live active cultures with nothing added. No stabilizers, no artificial colors, no preservatives. The organic certification is independently verified through third-party audits rather than self-reported marketing language. For shoppers who have been reaching for Yoplait or Dannon Activia based on the front panel health signals, Stonyfield Farm Plain Organic is available at most major grocery chains at a price point frequently comparable to the additive-heavy conventional brands, with a genuinely cleaner, verified ingredient profile. Drop a comment and tell us which brand you have been buying for the health benefits. And subscribe, because we are running the same verified ingredient check across every major grocery category, so you always know what the label is actually backed by before it goes in your cart.